Hey, how's it going? Zach D Productions here, and I'm here with a movie review for you guys. So for this review, I'll be reviewing a movie that came out about 20 years ago at this point. I believe this film released in 2004. And this is honestly probably one of my favorite films that released in the early 2000s. And that movie is Collateral with Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx. And this is definitely a great movie, and also probably one of my favorite Tom Cruise movies as well. I'm not sure how popular that opinion is, but this one maybe make the top three Tom Cruise movies for me personally. I think it's that good, to be honest. This is a great movie. I have seen it a few times, and I enjoyed it each time I watch it. It's a movie that seems to get better and better the more that you watch it. So there's a lot of really interesting things about this film, and for those who don't know, this is one of those movies where the actor that normally plays the hero is actually the villain. Tom Cruise actually plays the bad guy in this movie. And I really like that. I really like when some movies do that, where there's an actor, a big named actor, that normally plays the good guy, the hero, who actually plays the bad guy in the movie. Some others that come to mind for me would be Man of Tai Chi with Keanu Reeves. Keanu actually plays a villain in that movie. Training Day with Denzel Washington. Denzel actually plays the bad guy in that movie. Which, by the way, I feel like there's some comparisons that you can make with Training Day and Collateral. I'm not sure if I'm the only one that noticed that or have made observations like that between these two movies. I know I've talked to some people about it, and they can definitely see the similarities between these two movies. I think both movies have a similar tone. And I think structure-wise, they're both very similar, you know? And again, they're both movies where you got a hero actor or an actor that normally plays the good guy playing the bad guy. So there you go. But again, this movie has a lot of interesting things going for it. Jamie Foxx, he actually does very good in the movie. He's basically you could say the protagonist in the movie. He plays the good guy. And one of the things that I did find interesting about Jamie Foxx's character is his character's name is actually Max in the movie. And I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, that's what his character's name was in The Amazing Spider-Man 2 when he was playing Electro, of course. So I found that kind of ironic. I found that kind of interesting. And Tom Cruise's character's name is Vincent, I believe. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get into the plot of the movie. Not going to go too deep into the plot or anything. So, basically, Jamie Foxx's character plays this taxi driver, and one of his clients is Tom Cruise. And he gets caught up in this whole thing with Tom Cruise's plan and everything. He uses Jamie Foxx's character as a way to get around to these locations as he's going around committing these acts, of course. You know, he's going around shooting, killing, and everything. So, yeah. And it eventually leads to a final showdown when Jamie Foxx's character realized that that Tom Cruise is going after a woman that he likes. And he plans on taking her out, so he has to go and save her, of course. So, yeah, that's basically the plot, but the movie has a lot more interesting things than just that. I mean, it is kind of straightforward, kind of straight to the point, but it's definitely well worth a watch, I would say. I mean, I do like the action in the movie. I think the action does work, but I do feel like the film could have benefited with more action. That's one of the things that I've always thought about this movie, even the first time I watched it. I'm like, wow, this is a great movie, but you know what? You know what would make it better? If it had a little bit more action. But I think it's fine the way it is. I think, you know, the way they were going about this works fine. You know, it's sort of like a drama combined with action, you could say. So in that sense, I guess I can understand why, you know, there wasn't more action. You know, they wanted to, you know, keep it this way for a reason. So, yeah, I do like the action. I think Tom Cruise's character is honestly really cool in the movie. I mean, this is definitely one of his best performances. Definitely one of his best, I would say. Now, one of the things that we do have to speak about with this film is the cameo in the opening scene. Now, if you have seen this movie, you know exactly who I'm talking about here. I am talking about Jason Statham. He makes an appearance in this movie. I mean, that really blew my mind when I first watched this. I'm like, oh, he's in this movie too? That's pretty cool. I didn't know that, but it turned out it was only for that opening scene. But it's still cool that he made a cameo in this movie nonetheless. Now, one thing that I actually didn't find out till afterwards, after seeing this movie, is apparently the character that Jason Statham was playing as in this movie is apparently Frank from the Transporter movies. That really surprised me. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. I thought he was just making a cameo. He was just there, because he's Jason Statham. He's a recognizable name. So I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. And it kind of does make sense when you watch the movie because he's delivering something to Tom Cruise's character. So I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. So I guess these universes are connected in some way, the Transporter and Collateral. I mean, like, how big is this universe? Like, what other films are connected, They really could have built upon this a lot more, They could have maybe even made a Collateral sequel where maybe Jamie Foxx met up with Jason Statham's character or something. I don't know. Like, the possibilities are endless. It really makes you wonder, about this. And just all the possibilities. It's like how far does this universe go? I mean, like this interests me more than the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This is my kind of stuff right here. I mean, I like some of the MCU movies, don't get me wrong, but I do have my complaints about them, especially the more recent ones. But either way, Collateral, it's a great movie for sure. I mean, it's definitely great. The vibe of this movie is also really cool. I dig the soundtrack as well, especially, the main theme or whatever it is. I don't know. I think it's at the beginning, the theme of the movie, and I think it's also in like the menu screen and everything. So yeah, it just sounds very sinister, like very dark. I do dig the soundtrack. Yeah, some of the soundtrack anyway. But yeah, the vibe of the movie, very cool once again, and I believe the whole film takes place at night. So yeah, it's all set in like one night, I believe, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, very interesting film. So Collateral, great movie, definitely worth a watch if you haven't seen it. So if you like Tom Cruise or Jamie Foxx, this is definitely worth a watch. So that's my review for Collateral, a great movie. If I were to give it a score, I would maybe either give it an 8.5 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10. I think the movie is that strong. It's a really great movie, worth a watch for sure. So let me know what you think of Collateral if you have seen it. So on that note, thanks for watching.